Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to a Nomading Game Man and to this Loop Zero to Loop Hero series, where we are going to try to beat all 4 chapters of Loop Hero using the easiest and quickest strategy I know. Now, if you don't know what we're doing to get to this far, well, we're going to try and actually defeat the Lich this episode, this part. If you don't know how we did it, go to part 1 of this series. Part 2 and part 3 are somewhat optional. I think we're on part 4. The middle 2 are just farming, right? 90% of this game is farming. And what we're going to try and do is beat the Lich. But let me show you the encyclopedia first. Now, because we unlocked the Intel Center, this one here, it's going to give us the encyclopedia. And this is really helpful to understand what things do. Right? If you don't know what's going on, and if you don't know, particularly, what drops what, this is super helpful. You don't need to know this tab. But, like, for example, once we unlock chapter 1 and 2 and whatever, we're going to start seeing what these resource drops are. Super handy, right? Now, let's try and beat the Lich, shall we? Now, to do that, we do actually have some supplies. And the one supply we have is increased damage to bosses done by 4%. So we'll equip that. And going forward, we're going to need some metal shards to unlock the cemetery beyond this. And we're going to need forests. Well, we can't do that in this loop. We're going to have to say that for the next loop. But if we can get cemetery and crypt, we can make a decent head start. Right, let's go and try and beat the Lich. And we did get some new cards. We don't need them. Desert. Don't need it. We're going to keep going with Village Grove. Oh yeah, I forgot. Okay. So we'll be going for Village and Grove, Spider Cocoon, Battlefield, Blood Grove. When you're fighting the Lich, it's very useful to actually have road lanterns. And I'll explain why later. We're going to stick with Rocks and Meadows and Treasuries and Oblivion. Right, let's jump in. Let's jump right in. Now, if you don't know what we're doing, we're going to do exactly the same thing as what we've been doing for the last 3 parts. But what we're going to do is we're going to keep an eye on the map completion bar. When this gets to about 50, 60, 70%, then we need to start looking at particular items. And one stat in particular, evasion, is what we need. So I guess I'll probably see you when we get a little bit closer to that point. Actually, before I do that, one thing that's really important when you're fighting bosses is to get a grove near the campfire, because what we want is a blood grove that affects the campfire. Because a blood grove, as you probably know if you watched the other parts of this series, reduces enemies' HP by about 15%. Basically, if you knock them down to 15% of the HP, they automatically get killed. And that applies to bosses too. So we want a blood grove over the campfire, and one of the best ways to do that is get a grove. In fact, one of the only ways to do that is using a grove. So that's why I put that here. So we can put our blood grove right here. And normally I'd put a spider cocoon here, which is a shame. So maybe I should have not put it right here. But hey ho, if I can move it, if I can get another grove and put it like say here, then I can still put my spider cocoon here. Anyway, let's roll. Now, one of the reasons I said to get a road lantern is even though we don't need it in the loop, what it is, it's just to fill up space. Now, I'm going to save it up for now. In fact, I might even just put it there. No, I don't really want... Actually, I could put it here. I could have put it here. Now, what happens is when the Lich spawns, it builds a palace. So if you've seen any of the other parts, you'll notice when the Lich spawns, a bunch of stuff just start building here. Now, we can try to use Oblivion cards to destroy them, but... And the reason we'd want to destroy them is because that palace makes the boss more strong. It makes it stronger. So we want to block that. We want to stop it being able to spawn that. And one of the ways we can do that is to build around it. So if we've got groves here, spider cocoons here, things around it, then it's going to stop it from spawning the palace and make our lives a little bit easier. And one of the best ways we can block is using a road lantern. So what I might do is if I put a road lantern, say... here, maybe even here, that's just blocking up the space. But we don't want it to because again, enemies are our friends. We want enemies, so we don't want to put it too early and in places that are actually quite handy for us to be spawning enemies in the first place. Right, don't do what I just did. I forgot to actually place your Blood Grove. So now I'm going to have to use an Oblivion card to destroy something around here, probably this one here, to now put my Blood Grove in there. Yeah, don't do that. That's an absolute schoolboy error there. Right, our first what should we do? Second thoughts? Yeah, why not? Right, so we finally got an Oblivion card. Now, what I normally do is destroy this Goblin Camp. But because I messed up here, I'm going to have to destroy this one here to put our Blood Grove. Unfortunately. That's my mistake. I would love to have taken that out, but what I might do instead is put that thing here. No, can I put it there? I wish I put maybe there? No. Can I put another Blood Grove here? Yeah, why not? We're going to build up the space around it, so maybe if I put one... I don't know. Let's see, it's going to build around here, then maybe like there. So if I put one here... that should be better, but yeah, this is not ideal. I don't like goblins. Also, it's a bit of a slow game. We're in loop 6, and generally we might have even finished by now, but for some reason, we're just not getting the cards. Now, we do need to keep an eye on this, so because the map completion is getting to about 60-70%, we need to now start blocking out things that have high evasion. Right now, we've got 8%. Realistically, we want about 20, 25 minimum, but the higher the better. If you can get something like 40%, that's great. 35 should probably do it, but yeah, we really need some cards with some evasion. Let's put this down here. There we go. Let's use that then. We don't need to write the second. But it's not a bad ring as it is, so I'm going to use it instead. This has got some evasion. Yeah, perfect. Right, so now our evasion is 16%. We need a little bit higher, I think. Ideally. So we've got 8 there, 8 there. If we can get, I don't know, up to about 30. 25, I think, is the bare minimum. 25. But we shall see. We've still got a while. If I put this here... and then hopefully we can get a village or something around here. Yeah, we're not really got anything with evasion. We're just, again, we might even like try to hold off spawning the Lich until we can get some more evasion. Even if that costs us. Yeah, even if that costs us some decent gear. Even if it costs us some damage. What's that? Yeah, so I'm gonna hold this, right? But we really want an evasion dagger, so I'm actually gonna hold out for this. I'm not gonna switch out my dagger yet. Right, what do we have? All of these kind of lame, right? We don't have any counter. Well, we do, but let's go for survivors then. What's that? No. Yeah. Oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? I could have got this trophy by now. Right, so I put the village. I don't really want to get rid of these spiders, but if I put the village here, nah, that'll do. Right, anything with evasion? Yes. That's less than our current ring, so it's useless to us. That's not good, is it? Right, we need to be careful. Right, hopefully this treasury can save us. Evasion? No. No, we're not getting any decent cards, man. Nothing. And the longer we keep using these subpar weapons, right, the harder it's going to be for us on the loop. Look at our health so far. It's not great. Oh, I'm so stupid. Oh, I'm so stupid. Alright, let's see if we can beat him. I should have done that. I don't think we're gonna beat him here, but we shall see. 16% evasion, was it enough? We might just do it. We might just do it. Ah, we did it. That was so lucky. I messed up. I wasn't planning to do that, but hopefully you can see the lich is actually pretty straightforward. You just need evasion. Funny enough, we got some decent gear now. All right, fine. Well, let's see what our rewards are. Resource cap is higher. Nah, well, we don't need that many more resources left. Each day passes. That's a good one. Let's get for Axis Tilt. Right, how lucky was that? So you can beat the lich with 60% evasion. But I mean, I guess that's all you need. Anyway, let's retreat. Let's see what we can build. So we did beat the lich. Yeah, easier than I thought. I was thinking 20, 25%, but 16, man. 16 is all you need. Right. So we can get the cemetery, which is fantastic. Can we get the crypt? No. Okay. So that means we're going to do maybe 1 or 2 more expeditions to farm, because now we need this green stuff, and I'll tell you how to get it in the next one. And we just need some metals for the crypt. And then we're basically 3 loops away from beating the game. So thank you very, very, very much for joining me in this part with this very lucky against the lich. And I will see you in the next part. Take care, guys.